The multiverse. A concept that is relatively new to the world of cinema. Marvel made us believe that it all started with the Loki series. DC made us believe that it started with the crisis of infinite universes in the Arrowverse. But really, the whole multiverse started thanks to her. What? That's what many will ask. But yes, our dear Halle Berry, who everyone knows played the iconic Storm in the X-Men in 2000, at the same time was signed to enter the Catwoman suit in the Harmonious movie of 2004. And there, guys, was when a canon event was created. The same actor playing two different characters from different universes, the Marvel Universe and the DC Universe. And here's just a few examples.
Clothes off, face down, ass up.
Wow, so many we didn't notice, right? And so many more to be uncovered in this video. Today in this video, we'll talk about this phenomenon. Welcome to Dr. Real. Today you will see why does the same actor play a role in Marvel and DC. But real quick before we dive into the rest, please take a second to click on the subscribe button. One small click for you, but a huge deal for us. Thanks! So we all know that the superhero film industry was possibly the most successful that could have ever been conceived in cinema. Therefore, the producers wanted to have the best actors of the moment in their ranks. Several went to Marvel, others to DC, as if there were different soccer teams, but the strange thing happened. Some players, or in our case actors, came to play roles in both Marvel and DC, as if they were playing on both opposing teams. One of the biggest examples of this is when we're all surprised when Michael Keaton and Christian Bale, former Dark Knights, were chosen to play the bad guys of the MCU, Vulture and Gore, respectively. Or when Michael Rooker, our beloved Yondu, returned for the Suicide Squad in 2021. But although it may not seem like it, this is a risky move by the producers, which if they can avoid doing it, all the better. Why? Because for the audiences, it can be very confusing to see the same actor playing different characters, especially for people who are not very cinephile people. Also, if an actor who's already ventured into the world of superheroes returns to play a role in this world, it could end very badly for him, since it could ruin the image that people have of this actor in the superhero cinema, which is why many prefer to leave through the wide door. But with all this against them, why do the studios insist on making this move? Well, we'll try to explain the reasons for this move. Despite the criticism that the world of superheroes is trash cinema and that it has not revolutionized anything, we cannot deny that many superhero movies have brought us very badass performances. From Josh Brolin playing the supervillain Thanos to Angela Bassett as the Queen Mother Ramonda, being nominated for an Oscar as Best Supporting Actress. And although you may not remember, these artists have already been in Marvel movies. Brolin had previously arrived at DC to star in the forgotten Jonah Hex movie, and Angela Bassett was none other than Amanda Waller. Yes, this Amanda Waller. No, not that one. This Amanda Waller. The Amanda Waller that DC made us forget. Although these actors did not have the best luck in these universes, everyone knew that they had an enormous acting ability, which could be used. That is why Marvel, when it had the opportunity, managed to cast them in its team, and vice versa with DC. There are plenty of examples, such as Idris Elba being Heimdall in the Thor saga, and also Bloodsport in the Suicide Squad, or Andy Serkis as Ulysses Claw in Black Panther, and then as Alfred in The Batman. But hey, they don't just go from one side to the other. They are actors so iconic that they get to play different roles in the same company, as in the case of Aaron Taylor-Johnson, who had a questionable participation as Quicksilver, but is about to return to the Marvel Universe as Kraven. Also happening with the most famous example of very young Chris Evans playing the Human Torch, participating in a failed Fantastic Four saga, being cancelled. But despite this, Marvel chose him well to carry the shield of the first Avenger, giving us one of the most beloved characters in the entire MCU. In cinema, it often happens when a director has an actor with whom he has worked on many films because they both understand each other very well, and Marvel is no exception to this. The most famous example being James Gunn, director of Guardians of the Galaxy. And when the reasons we all know, Marvel executives took him away from the company for a while, he started making movies at DC, and therefore, he brought his favorite actors from across the pond. From his brother Sean Gunn being both Kraglin, Yondu's passionate right-hand man in Guardians of the Galaxy, and Calendar Man in the Suicide Squad, to the freaking Sylvester Stallone being Stalker, Captain of the Ravagers, and King Shark, the anthropomorphic shark of a few words. The list goes on and on. Nathaniel Fillion, Daniela Melchior, D. Bradley Baker, Jennifer Holland, Pete Davidson, Michael Rooker, and a large etc. Another similar case is with the great Sam Raimi, who upon being recruited again by Marvel for Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, could not leave behind the actor who has accompanied him since 1982, Bruce Campbell, the cameo man of the original Spider-Man trilogy, who despite the actor himself stating that it is the same character, we cannot forget how this man has given life to so many workers in New York City, bringing us many laughs. What does this 1989 Batman thug have in common with Weapon 11? Well, both were in the MCU, the first being the same actor who played the Broker in Guardians of the Galaxy, Christopher Fairbank, and the second, believe it or not, guys, is not Ryan Reynolds. Well, not quite. Many of the action sequences carried by the Weapon 11 in X-Men Origins, Wolverine, were done by actor Scott Adkins, who later plays one of Caecilius' followers in Doctor Strange. And although the most geeky will have noticed it, this goes unnoticed by the average viewer thanks to the magic of makeup. So Marvel and DC take advantage of the invisibility of these actors to be able to cast them, as in the case of Colin Farrell, who despite having played Bullseye in the critically panned Daredevil movie, Warner took him into their corner by casting him as the Penguin in The Batman, making him unrecognizable to avoid confusion. Or in the case of Marvel actress Gemma Chan, who already participated in Captain Marvel, managed to pass the casting to play Cersei in the Eternals, and Marvel would have said, "Hey, in Captain Marvel she was painted blue, it's okay," and so on and so forth. That's how things like this can go unnoticed. Sometimes it's not the studios that fight to get a casting done. Many times it's the actors themselves that fight to have a second chance in the world of superheroes. This would be the case of Channing Tatum, who despite having played a superhero, being Superman for a very brief moment in Lego Batman movie, Tatum was left wanting more, so he continued fighting to manage to embody the mutant Gambit. And despite not having his individual film as planned, he managed to play the X-Men in Deadpool and Wolverine, a topic we already talked about in one of our previous videos. But the most famous case of redemption, without a doubt, is that of Ryan Reynolds, who despite having failed enormously as Green Lantern, the actor did not want to be left with a bad reputation for that role, so he strongly insisted on reprising the role he had been given in the also failed X-Men Origins Wolverine. So after a long executive process, Reynolds managed to leave his mark on the Marvel Universe, becoming Deadpool, aka Marvel Jesus. Even though there are things that must have their end, studios don't like goodbyes very much. That's why dark times may come for the creativity of the superhero studios. Recently, we were surprised that Robert Downey Jr. would return to the MCU to embody the legendary Doctor Doom. But if he was already Iron Man, why would Marvel want him back? Well, the answer is simple. Desperation. We all know about the bad times that Marvel's going through, so a wild card like this would be great for Marvel to get the public's attention again. What's the problem? That this could be a new mechanism that companies use to get people's attention again. Big actors who have already finished a story with their character return for some convenience of the script, taking advantage of the multiverse. So, what will be the next move? Make Zendaya come back playing Black Cat and we pretend that nothing happened? Or will they bring back Scarlett Johansson to play Jean Grey? We don't know what Marvel or DC will bring us in the future. We just hope they don't repeat this practice so often, and that they know how to say goodbye to certain stories and certain faces. But even putting together all the performances on this list and those missing, the best possible performer who has played no less than 37 characters in Marvel movies, and in one DC, the hero with 1,000 faces, Stan Lee. The man to whom we owe all these stories. Having the greatest superpower on the planet makes us happy. So to this storyteller, we simply dedicate one word, Excelsior. And that's it for now. And also share your thoughts in the comments. Which actor or actresses who has appeared in Marvel and DC is your favorite? What do you think about this move? Or is it harmless? Or is it bringing actors from one franchise to another already saturated? Drop a comment on this video. And if you're new to the channel, you need to hit the subscribe button and tell us what movies or series you'd like us to deep dive into next. This video is made by movie fans for movie fans.